and then I'll go ahead and go.
All right, has been posted.
Perfect. I'll give it a couple seconds and I'll get rolling. Hello, my fellow barbarians. It's me again, Rock, here with MDA again. Gonna be kind of a shorter podcast, not really what we usually do because we just got a bunch of good news, and so we were like, let's go ahead and get through with it. So we won't really do Stonk of the Week, or we won't do any guild stats or anything like that because it hasn't been long enough to get anything. So we'll just shoot, I guess, MDA. If you want to go ahead, we can get right into it with the updates if you want to.
Yeah, so I'm sure all of you guys who were looking at the forums, looking at Reddit, looking at Discord today, saw they posted the final requirement for Starkiller, which is going to be Mara Jade, the Emperor's Hands, and then they did a kit reveal for Starkiller, as well as the 2 additional Omnicons. So we're going to go over those 4. But as a bonus tidbit, we talked about Rolo's Omnicron last pod, last pod. And for those of you who were on the live stream in Discord, if not, I will definitely post. I'm going to record all my gameplay this TB. Rolo's Omnicron is very good. I just went 4 out of 4 in phase 1 of Lightside Geo. Ran Rolo, R2, 3PO and Chewie, CLS, and Captain Han, and it was an easy 4 out of 4. Definitely the Omnicron made Rolo really good. Keep you posted on that, and I will post to this YouTube channel that gameplay. But anyways, we're not here for Rolo. We are here for the new characters. So do we want to do the Omnicrons first, or do we want to go into the kit review?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the Omnicons first because they're kind of minor, so we want to leave the bigger stuff for last.
So the 2 Omnicrons that got announced were Chief Chirpa and Darth Sidious. We'll start with Chief Chirpa. This is going to be going on to his lead, which is a Zeta, which will be getting an Omnicron as well. Formerly, his lead was that Ewoks gain 20% turn meter and deal 10% more damage whenever they perform a basic. These effects are halved for other allies. Whenever an Ewok uses a special ability, there's a 60% chance to call another random Ewok ally to assist. With the Omnicron, while in Grand Arenas, Ewoks have 30 additional speed. Ewok allies deal an additional 40% more damage with basic abilities, so it will now be 50% damage in total. They'll do 50% more damage on a basic, and they have an additional 40% chance to call an Ewok ally to assist when using a special ability. So basically, whenever you use a special, you are guaranteed to call an Ewok out of turn to come, and so basically you are guaranteeing the turn meter train is going to be flowing, and you're going to do more damage with your basics. What's your thoughts here on this one?
I like it. I'm a big Ewok fan, so I mean, Obviously is going to like anything that comes for Ewoks, but I mean, compared to some of the other Omegas that we've seen, not Omegas, but Omnicrons we've seen, this one's a little like underwhelming in terms of like stats given. It's like very basic. It's just, you get 30% speed, 40% more damage, and then 40% more chance to call. But I mean, if you bring it together, you now hit 50% harder, and you'll always call somebody to assist. And the plus 30 speed is also really nice because, I mean, Ewoks as a whole aren't a very fast faction. Like, I mean, like I think there's a couple of like you. I think you were saying Papalu is really fast, but I don't use Papalu,
Yeah,
so I don't
Papalu's
know
really
what his.
fast. His
I'll
base
look at his
speed
base.
is his base speed is slow, but his unique gives him plus 25% speed. So you can get him
Mm,
after his usually like you can have Papalu go first. Like even I've seen him outrun Jedi Knight Revens and Darth Revens. Like you can get Papalu pretty fast. So the plus 30 speed will definitely help with that. Um, so you're basically having Ewoks go first, and you're guaranteed to get the turn meter train going. You
yeah,
know what?
once you get one, they just keep going.
I'll need to
So
see this.
I like it.
I'll eventually give it to Chief Chirp. I have all my Ewoks at Gear 12. This will be something I give, but probably 3 or 4 Omicrons down the road.
Yeah, same here. Like mine aren't really like good. I think I have Wicked at gear 12. One of them's like gear 11, and then the rest are like gear 10, gear 8. And so this one's probably going to be like 4 or 5 down the line. I'm waiting for Harris to see what she's looking like because I might end up gearing up the Phoenix for that one. Not a lot, but just a little bit. But I don't know. I like this one. Definitely going to be really interesting on defense because I mean people are used to throwing Ewoks on defense, but you throw this on defense, and I mean I wonder if like I was seeing like if you look at some of the comments on like the post, like you see some people that are like, I wonder if this is gonna mess with like solos like with Nest and Wampa and Malik and stuff like that. And so like I could definitely see it like being able to do more damage can like really mess up a Nest solo.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I know
Mm.
there's the gerbil on YouTube. He's got relic Ewoks. I'll definitely want to see if he posts a video to see what this looks like. But it looks interesting, and I think it's definitely worth. Um, it's not a bad Omicron.
No, I know.
Next Omicron was for Darth Sidious. It is on his unique, which is also his Zeta. So his new final text, what it reads is Darth Sidious recovers 20% of his max health and gains 50% turn meter whenever any unit is defeated. In addition, he has plus 35 evasion or plus 35% evasion against Jedi attacks, plus 50% potency, and gains max health equal to his potency percentage. So in his Omicron will be while in territory wars, if all Sith allies or if all allies are Sith at the start of the battle, Sith allies gain max health equal to half of Darth Sidious's potency until the first time he is defeated, excludes Galactic Legends. When Darth Sidious uses demoralizing blows, the cooldown of the ability is reduced by 1 for each other Sith ally, and Darth Sidious gains 50 speed for 4 turns. Um, it's
Mm.
it's okay.
I, yeah, I mean, I think it's better than the Rose, but I don't think it's better than like the Zam or Phasmas or Rolos or Qui-Gon Jinns, but I like it. The problem is going to be more or less who you going to throw with them now because with Starkiller coming, who's going to be? It seems like a lot of
Now that I'm looking
yeah.
at this, I think I was reading it wrong. Um, so he's gonna be more or less like the assault battle Sidious. So as long as he
Mhm.
when he uses demoralizing blow, the cooldown of the ability is reduced by 1. It is a 4 turn cooldown, and you're gonna run him with all Sith because that you want them to gain his max health. Um,
Mhm. So
so
basically, he'll get the AOE every turn.
he'll get the AoE every turn, and he is putting exposes down. Um, he gains 50
Huh.
speed for 4 turns. Sidious is pretty fast to begin with. Um, so gaining 50 speed. So if you could have him go first, he'll gain 50 speed. I
Yeah.
wish that there was something where he could gain like turn meter on a critical hit or something. Or like, I wish that there was some
Yeah.
sort of turn meter gain because he'll AoE and go first, but like, I'm not really sure what else is really different here. I'll need to see
Hmm.
this one in action, but to me, this is this is kind of near the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not
Yeah.
impressed with this one.
Uh, Sidious has a base speed of 181, if you were wondering. But honestly, thinking about it now, now the one question I have is when Sidious uses demoralizing blows, it's reduced by 1 for each Sith ally, and Darth Sidious gains 50 speed for 4 turns. So basically, is that 50 speed going to stack? Because if that stacks, then every time you use demoralizing blows, which is probably going to be every turn since it's buffed, then is there going to come a point in time in the battle where he's got 200 speed and then he just stays at 200 speed because you'll never be able to get rid of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're gonna need to clarify like the 50 speed. Like,
Does it stack or is it a one time
is
always
it
have
like
50
you
speed?
get you just get plus 50? Is it stacking? Because like I'm thinking like if you think of young Han Solo when he like throws his dice up into the
Yeah.
air, he gains plus 50 speed stacking to up to 200 speed. So like you can get him pretty fast if you do that, but like I'm not. They'll need to clarify this. I'm not really sure. And
Yeah.
again, this is going to be at the bottom of my list for Omicrons.
Yeah, same here, mainly because mine's not geared up. But for those people with SE, I would think about it. I mean, I don't know. In terms of Omnicrons, I mean, I'm putting this one like middle of the pack. But
Ooh, I am
if,
seeing here with Relius here, he's inflicting three or three damage over times on it, and if you run that under Vader lead, those are gonna stick.
oh, yeah. Ooh,
So
yeah,
interesting. Again, someone will do it in the community, and I think we can go look at it and see.
yeah,
But I I took the the initial stuff for Rolo. I will not be doing it for Sidious.
yeah. I'll take one for the team for the guild and do the Qui-Gon Jinn one. So,
All
we want to
right.
go ahead and talk about Mara.
Yes. So this is Mara Jade, the Emperor's Hand. This was just announced today. She is a dark side attacker with the Empire and unaligned Force user tag. She is a dark side Force user attacker who uses her allies to boost her own power and supports Emperor Palpatine. So her basic: deal special damage to target enemy twice and inflict daze for 2 turns. If Emperor Palpatine is the leader, he assists if it's Mara Jade's turn. Otherwise, a random ally with useful pawn assists, dealing 50% less damage. Um, Special number 1, which is a Zeta. Dispel all buffs and inflict stun and vulnerable for 1 turn on target enemy. Then deal special damage to all enemies and inflict tenacity down for 1 turn. This ability deals double damage to shocked enemies and Jedi.
Oof.
Special number 2, which is a Zeta. Deal special damage to all enemies and inflict offense down, shock, and stagger for 2 turns. Man, shock and man, okay. Mara Jade gains stealth for 2 turns and 1.25% turn meter for each debuff inflicted by this ability. So that's 3 debuffs on 5 characters. That's 15 debuffs. And if we
I'll,
multiply, yeah, go ahead, multiply
yeah.
that and see how much turn meter you can get.
18.75. So close to 19, basically 19% turn meter.
Okay. Um, if Emperor Palpatine is the leader, he also gains that much turn meter for each debuff inflicted by this ability. Unique, which is an Omicron. If Emperor Palpatine is in the leader slot and at the start of the encounter, Empire and Sith allies have plus 20% offense and potency. Otherwise, all dark side allies gain useful pawn until the end of the encounter, which can't be copied or dispelled. Mara Jade has plus 10% critical chance, critical damage, and offense for each ally with useful pawn. At the start of Mara Jade's and Emperor Palpatine's turns, Mara Jade gains a stack of loyal hands, max 20 stacks until the end of the encounter. If Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker is on the enemy squad, Mara Jade blinds Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker for 1 turn at the start of her turn, which can't be evaded or
Ooh.
resisted. Useful Pawn, which is going to be a new status effect, minus 5% crit chance, crit damage, and offense. And those will be going on her. Let's see. Those will be going on the allies. Okay. Loyal
Yeah.
Hand, which is the same as Darth Talons, plus 10% max protection and offense. And the Omicron reads, while in Territory Wars, at the start of the battle, if the enemy leader is not a galactic legend, they lose 100% protection, 50% max protection, and
Oof.
Mara Jade gains 100% turn meter. Whenever an enemy unit is defeated, all allies gain 20% max protection, and Mara Jade inflicts vulnerable for 1 turn on a random enemy, which can't be evaded or resisted. Holy cow. I'm not gonna lie, I
Yeah.
actually had not read her Omicron. I just saw her kit, but I didn't read the Omicron yet. Holy shit.
Yeah. I like it because it looks like this is going to counter Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. It's going to be kind of like a direct counter for Jedi Knight Luke teams.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, you might be like some. I mean, there like if you look at the comments, some guys like this is good, but I can already tell she's going to work well with Lord Vader. And if that's the case, then she's going to blind Luke for 1 turn, and Luke's AI will always do the AOE to start. And so, wouldn't he just miss the AOE then with the blind?
His AoE can't be evaded or resisted, and his AoE is an AoE stun. So,
Hmm. But
um,
I mean, he can't. It can't be evaded or resisted, but it can be missed, and so it's basically what like blind's like a miss.
no, but like since it can't be evaded or resisted, since it's not dealing damage, it's
Uh,
still going to.
okay,
Um,
okay, makes
but like
sense.
I'm not gonna lie, like gaining 100% turn meter. Again, we'll need to see what her AI
Yeah,
does. But if you put shock down, Palpatine's going to gain turn meter on top of like what you're already doing, and then if there's shock on every enemy, Palpatine's going to gain turn meter like crazy because he gains turn meter based off the amount of shocks that are on the field. So like,
yep.
I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna have to take something. You're almost probably gonna have to take a Galactic Legend in against this. Like, um,
In territory, like I could see it going where, like, if you time it right, Mara goes first. She throws down her what special is it? Her second special, infiltrate and disrupt, and then she'll give Palp turn meter, but then she'll also put down shock, and then Palp can just literally go do his AOE because there's tenacity down,
I
and
mean,
you
you're probably
stun.
having to take like a GL or like CLS or something. But like, even still, when you're doing that, like you're having to take a good team in here.
Like I could see like a having to throw in like maybe a gas just so he can soak up damage for a while. Like I I I mean I just can't think of anything else off the top of my head that can just outright take this out off the beginning. I mean maybe you can do like a Watt and then you throw the armor tech on the tank, and so that way your tank just takes a bunch of damage until you're able to catch up with the turn meter, and then you can finally take some turns. But I don't know. This looks solid, but I don't know. I really like it, but my question is, what are you really gonna run with Mara? Because like in the video, they have us with like Vader and Royal Guard is like some of her people that she's running with, but like I mean, Royal Guard and Vader go with Lord Vader now, so it's really like who else are you gonna run with this Palp team?
So let's see here.
It,
I'm thinking like if you're like our man Squiffy, he's got C.
yeah.
You have a Tarkin relict.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You have a Krennic relict.
Oh yeah, Krennic too.
You could run Krennic here. Also, you have Thrawn. You also have the
Mm-hmm.
other troopers. At this point, as long as you have Palp and Mara, that's going to be good. You throw a Vader in there too, especially on territory war defense. I mean, Vader's not really used to counter GLs anymore. Um,
That's true.
you're about to, I mean, you throw a Vader in there, and also when you're, if someone like, okay, so let's just say like you got gas. Gas cleanses off all the debuffs because you critically hit him. Well, you're feeding turn meter to the Empire team, or you throw a TIE fighter pilot on there. Like this
Mm-hmm.
team's This team's going to be insane.
And I also love how Mara does give off uh, some Sith synergy.
Yeah.
Like with her unique, she gives off like if Emperor Palpatine is in the leader slot at the start of the encounter, Empire and Sith allies have, and then whatever. And
Hmm.
it's like there is some Sith synergy there, and so like heck, you can even heck, I mean, well, Mara isn't Sith, but this could be a good kind of landing spot for Sidious. Could be a decent little landing spot for Sidious if the only thing is you won't be able to do the AoE every turn is the only problem.
Right, right. Or I'm going to take a look at Sidious's Omicron again because I'm not sure. Is it so if all? I think that's just for the max health.
Yeah.
I think when he uses demoralizing blow, I think that if all eyes is at the Starbellow, I think the max health equal to Darth Sidious's potency is only needing all Sith. Again, CG might need to clarify it, but I think that's just calling out that.
Mm-hmm. Because he still gets the cooldown, but it will just be basically he'll have to wait one turn between his demoralizing blows instead of being able to use it every go.
Yeah.
Uh,
She looks solid. I've
I
seen
also would
some
like to
people.
see.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you go.
Um, I've seen a few people saying she can work with Lord Vader. I think the fact that she's an unaligned force, a dark side unaligned force user, um, she will be able to help charge up Lord Vader's ult quicker. But I don't really see why you'd want to run her with Lord
Yeah,
Vader.
it seems there's so much Palpatine synergy here that it almost seems like it would be a waste to not run her with Palp.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't really see the difference between her and, like, I mean, like, Ventress is also an unaligned force user, but you don't see people
Yeah,
running Ventress with Lord Vader.
yeah.
So I don't really see the need. I mean, like, the
Mm.
Empire thing is cool, but I don't really see the need to.
The shock is also good because doesn't Lord Vader do something with shock as well? Or am I mistaken?
I don't think he does.
Okay,
Yeah. I think he might be immune to shock, like, when onto, like, his certain health
okay,
percentage
that's what I was
tiers.
thinking of.
Um,
Okay,
but definitely excited. I will wait for Arnold to wail out on
yeah,
Mara Jade, and I will watch how she looks.
yeah. I've liked it. I think it's going to be a really good one. My one concern is how good is she really going to be with two leftover Empire allies, or two or three Empire or two or three Sith allies? Because like her and Palp are going to be good together, but my curiosity is how good is she going to make the supporting cast around Palp?
Fair enough. Like, I think the three between her, Palps, and Vader, that's already pretty solid. But if you could get away with, like, taking away Vader and just running her with, like,
Mm-hmm.
you
And
know,
see, that's kind of my mindset is, well, you're gonna run Darth Vader with Lord Vader, so then you're not gonna have him with Palp. So then what's gonna be your three? Like I really think Tarkin might get it's kind of might be a really good like work for Tarkin because doesn't his special give speed down and then crit chance down?
I think
And
it's
then he
on.
basically, when he
Yeah,
does his little thing, he gets a free turn, and then he drops turn meter. So then it builds the turn meter train even more. So I
yeah.
can see Tarkin being. I think Tarkin might be your third, but then your other two, it's whatever you want. I just want to make sure that I'm not saying she's going to be bad or anything. I'm just a little skeptical of if she's going to be able to make the supporting cast really good.
I think worst case, this does make Palps better on defense,
Yeah,
which is what the Palpatine Empire team needed they needed a bit more
yeah,
defensive viability. Um,
yeah. Great.
so without further ado, we have Starkiller's kit is finally here, and
Mm.
it's gonna be. Whew. Um, I think they did a good job of balancing. The requirements aren't that high. I think it seems like a lot right now, but if you think 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 4 characters Relic 5 is really not that big of a deal. And especially because most of these characters are good. I'd say Talon is a bit underwhelming, but these other 3 look pretty solid. I think they made him really overpowered, especially for a character of his stature, and especially of his expectation of, if you're going to bring Starkiller into the game, he's got to be good. Definitely the best animations in the game. Hands down, best animations.
Yeah.
So
it looks good.
Kit reads as follows. He is a dark side attacker, unaligned force user. He is a powerful dark side force user whose inner conflict lifts up other force users. On the basic, which is a Zeta, deal physical damage to target enemy twice. If it's Starkiller's turn, inflict shock for 1 turn, and deal physical damage to all enemies which can't be countered. If he has Unleashed, reduce special ability cooldowns by 1. Special number 1, which is an Omnicon, deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict Daze and Vulnerable for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Gain 25 stacks of Force Energy. This ability can't be evaded. If he has Unleashed, inflict buff immunity and healing immunity for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. And while in Grand Arenas, while Unleashed, dispel all debuffs on all allies, and the buff immunity and healing immunity can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. Special number 2, Force Repulse, which is an Omnicon. Dispel all buffs on target enemy and deal physical damage to all enemies, which can't be evaded. This attack deals 5% more damage for each buff dispelled. And while Unleashed, deal 25% more damage for each buff dispelled instead. And while in Grand Arenas, dispel all buffs on all enemies. And his granted ability, which is basically an ultimate, limit 1 use per battle. Deal damage equal to 80% of Starkiller's max health to all enemies and stun them for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. Allies recover 100% health and protection. If this attack defeats an enemy, Starkiller takes a bonus turn. This ability can't be evaded. And for those of you who have not seen, the animation is Starkiller pulling the Star Destroyer out of the sky, and this is by far the best animation in the game.
Yeah.
He's unique. He has 2 of them. This one is a Zeta. Starkiller has plus 30% counter chance, critical chance, defense penetration, and offense, and he is immune to fear. Starkiller gains 4 stacks of force energy, max 100 stacks, each time he deals damage to an enemy, increased to 5 stacks on a critical hit. At 100 stacks, he loses all stacks of force energy and gains Unleashed until the end of the battle. When Starkiller gains Unleashed, he gains 70% counter chance, critical chance, defense penetration, and offense. So basically, he will have plus 100% of those stats. He dispels all debuffs on himself. He takes a bonus turn. His cooldowns are reset. If there are no Galactic Legend allies, he gains the special ability Signs Means Nothing. So basically, if you run him with Lord Vader, he is not able to use his special ability. He will gain all the rest of these stats, but he's not able to use that ability. Force Energy, which reads at 100 stacks, lose all stacks and gain Unleashed. Unleashed, gain additional effects, can't gain Force Energy. Size Means Nothing, you will use it. You're allowed to use it once per battle, which is interesting for territory battles. In territory battles, the battle is the entire all 4 waves. So if you use the granted ability in wave 1, you are not able to use it for the rest of the territory battle, or for those 4 waves. So maybe this is something you save it for wave 4, or you go into a boss wave in wave 3. Maybe save it for then, but once you use it, it's done. Unique number 2, which is an Omnicon. At the start of the battle, if there are no Galactic Legend allies, and Starkiller has exactly 1 Jedi, 1 light side unaligned Force user, 1 Sith, and 1 other dark side unaligned Force user, all allies gain the following bonuses: 100% critical damage and max health, 35 speed, 100% max protection until the first time Starkiller is defeated, immune to daze and stun. While in Grand Arenas, if the conditions for this ability were met at the start of the battle, all of the following bonuses are also gained. At the start of the battle, Jedi tank allies taunt for 1 turn. All allies have plus 35 speed. Again, they're 70 speed. Holy crap. Debuff enemies deal 50% less damage. Whenever a Sith ally uses a basic ability, Starkiller assists, dealing 20% less damage. Whenever another dark side unaligned Force user ally uses a special ability, all allies gain critical hit immunity for 1 turn. And whenever Starkiller uses a special ability, light side healer allies have their cooldowns reduced by 4, and Jedi tank allies gain damage immunity and taunts for 1 turn. So,
Yo.
holy shit.
Even without the Omnicron, that's really good.
So I am going to read the list. These are the characters that will satisfy those conditions. Dark side unaligned Force users are Asajj Ventress, Kylo Ren Unmasked, and Maul. I could see Maul and OG Kylo doing well here. The light side unaligned Force users are Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, Commander Ahsoka Tano, Commander Luke Skywalker, Rey Jedi Training, Rey Scavenger, and Visas Mar, which Visas Mar is a healer, so she will synergize with that Omnicron there, so I think Visas might do well here. The Jedi tanks are General Kenobi, Jedi Knight Guardian, Juhani, Kanan Jarrus, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Old Ben, and Plo Koon. And Sith, Vader, Palpatine, Savage, Sith Assassin, Sith Empire Trooper, Marauder, Sith Trooper, Darth Maul, Nihilus, Revan, Sidious, Darth Sion, Talon, Traya, BSF, Count Dooku, and Darth Malak. It's going to be interesting to see who's the leader in a team like this.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you're going to want to meet these conditions because you're giving up basically a whole unique if you're not.
Yeah.
I could, man, it's tough because like none of these characters have good leads.
And like reading the unique, it's like it says exactly 1 Jedi, 1 light side unaligned Force user. Is that the same tune? Because they didn't specify that you need 1 Jedi and 1 light side unaligned Force user. They just said you need the tag. So like
you can't be a Jedi and be a light side unaligned Force user.
I thought one of the Ahsokas got it. Oh, never mind. No, I correct myself there. I forget what a unaligned Force user actually was for. That makes sense. Okay.
I could see Fulcrum finally having a home. Visas finally has a home. Mace finally has a home. Barely.
This makes Mace and Plo Koon kind of useful now. Tanks that can't taunt.
I'm not really sure who you'd run as the lead here because, like, unless one of these characters is getting a rework, none of these leads like synergize with. I think Nihilus is going to get a lead, especially if those leaks are true about the Ravager, because Nihilus, like, I could see him like. Just he wants all the Force energy. He wants the Force users. I could see that being the new lead, but like, either way, I want to get back to the kit. Holy cow!
I like it.
Yeah. This character is going to be good, and I think they did a good job of balancing him. I think Grand Arena is the perfect spot for him, and especially with their changes to Grand Arena, this is going to beat GLs. I'm not going to lie, like. This could definitely beat GLs.
Huh, you know what's interesting? You could almost run Rey lead, GL Rey lead. Because isn't her lead kind of universal in a way?
Yes.
Well, it's just light side allies, but
the problem is you can't have a Galactic Legend ally for that unique.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
Um,
I'm doing what you're doing, and I'm looking for a lead.
I could see. So what I'm thinking here when I'm looking at this, I'm looking for a character um, that has like I know that they'll have like Jedi or Sith gain this and then others. I'm looking for the and others. I think Mace has a lead like that. Or actually, old Ben does, but like his lead is just for evasion. Actually, Plo Koon's could work as well. His is they dispel stealth. Um,
Mace is just for Jedi allies.
okay, I think. Man, this is tough. I think they did this on.
I'm
They did this on purpose to, you know,
make you basically decide: do you want a Jedi lead or do you want a Sith lead?
I
You
think
can't run Ayla.
you
I'm
can't
just
run
going
it.
through the leads. I'm trying to figure out if there is a leader that can do both.
Well, no, because you need the Jedi tank though, because you want the Jedi to taunt. So I think it's got to be either
That's true.
Mace. It's got to be Mace or Plo Koon, and I think Plo Koon could be good with his turn meter. Um,
Hmm.
so you could do like Plo Koon lead. He's got a buff dispel in the basic, which is good. Offense down. Turn meter, you can dispel stealth. Um,
Um, Omagundi might be a decent.
he's a support though. That's the thing. He's a support.
Uh, but he's got his leader is all allies gain 30 defense. So you get the 30 defense, but then Jedi allies gain 35% counter chance and then counter damage, which isn't really good. But there's at least one lead out there that is he's Jedi. And I think is he a tank or support? He's support. No, that
Yeah.
sucks. Yeah.
Maul lead possibly. Um, it's not really gonna help anyone but himself, but I personally think OG Kylo will be better in this because you can spam his special. Um,
Mm.
I think their whole point is just you just throw random characters with him, and Starkiller will just take this home.
Yeah, you don't really need a lead. Is kind of what it seems like. Shoot, I'm looking around. You could use Jedi Knight Guardian as a tank. What are some other just old tanks that just don't really get any use? Like,
I mean, Juhani. Not a lot of people run Juhani, and I've got her at Relics, and she's tough to kill. She can definitely stay
yeah,
alive for a while.
yeah.
Um,
But I do like Plo Koon. I'm also just a big Plo Koon fan. Plo Koon fan. I like his unique, the take charge. The Terminator is really nice, but
definitely. This is definitely going to be a character that I'm going to be farming at some point.
yeah, uh, I might do it myself. I just don't know yet. But also, you need a Sith, and then you need an unaligned Force user, Dark Side. And the thing is, like, there's tons of Sith that you can take in as well. Like, maybe this is where Sidious is supposed to go.
Yeah, Sidious could work here.
So,
Dooku could work here.
Dooku.
Sith Assassin.
Yeah.
Um,
Savage.
Savage, yeah. Um,
I'm just thinking about a tune that like doesn't really have a home or like a team to go with. That's really what I was thinking of. Assassin might be good because she's got a good base speed, so might be good to have someone just go first, like outspeed everybody. Even though there's like not a whole lot of turn meter to do with the team, but
actually,
I mean,
Mara Jade will work here because she is a dark side unaligned force user. So
that's right.
Mara Jade can run here, and again, like we talked about, I don't know what she'll do in this lineup, but you could
Yeah.
run her here, and especially because you'll have her at R5 because you need it for just to unlock the event. Um, but yeah, that's Starkiller. Um, I I can't wait to see him. I think he's going to be fantastic.
I know. I'm also liking the basic just because the basic is an AOE. That's like I
Yeah,
think there's I think that's the only one in the game like that. There might be another, but I'm not sure. Um, I think in Territory War, the Guardian has a basic AOE or Territory Battle. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she gets an AOE, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
I mean, but when we're looking at this guy, he's going to be doing massive damage.
Yeah.
Um, damage equal to 80% of Starkiller's max health to all enemies. That is not something that can be nerfed by GLs or anything like that because it's not, you're not dealing
Mhm.
percent damage. It's the same thing as Luke's max protection damage on his special. It's going to be the same as that. So you're basically like, you're going to be modding this guy for crazy offense, or not offense, for crazy health. Um, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, did we
I
want to
like him.
jump into some do you want to talk about Cam or do you want to go to the podcast questions?
Let's go to the questions. I think most of them are about
Actually,
the
you know
new
what?
characters.
Slay Meyer actually had a question about Cam, so that actually works perfect. Um,
Yeah. So yeah, let's go through all the questions, and then at the end we'll finish with Slay,
perfect. Um,
and that'll lead us into the cam. So you want to go ahead and start with Relius, the Cup Omicron.
I'd love to see it. Go right ahead.
I agree. I would love to. Honestly, I would like to see like. Uh, honestly, I'm not too familiar with Cup's kit, but like I think I would love to see his grenade if they did do an Omicron. Like give his grenade uh like plague, like where he applies plague or something like that. Because I think it's kind of like a little gas grenade is what he throws. I'm looking it up. I'm curious now,
So for those who are
but
listening later or who are in the chats, Relius asked, "What if Cup gets an Omicron where he does 600% more damage and takes 50% less damage versus smugglers and scoundrels in a mode?" I don't know about 600%, but I think definitely like that would be interesting if you made him like
yeah,
anti-scoundrel, anti-smuggler. Um,
that would be kind of cool.
it'd be cool. I wouldn't hate it. He's definitely a character like I'd love to see him or Ugnaught like get an Omicron just to like
Yeah,
make them worth something.
yeah,
Um, because I think he's
that'd be
got like
nice.
a stun on the basic, and then like his
Um,
grenade does like offense or defense down or something. It's like
uh, I got it. It's 50% chance to stun with the basic, and then the non-lethal crowd control is deal physical damage to all enemies with a 70% chance to inflict offense down for 2 turns. So the plague thing wouldn't work, but then his unique is actually kind of interesting because it's Coruscant Underworld Police gains 30% potency. In addition, he gains 20% turn meter whenever he inflicts a negative status effect. So basically, whenever he does his basic, he gains 20% turn meter. And then he has a chance to throw his grenade and then take another turn
I wish that
and
they
then
would like
stun.
I wish that they would bump those up and just have it be purely off his potency because like
Yeah.
it's just like I they need to either give him an Omicron or update his kit or get a
Yeah.
leader that will take advantage of that because it's just a wasted character.
Yeah. Padme would take pretty good since you have to split up Padme with for Jedi Master Kenobi. It'd be nice to see some like give him an extra unique and just do something like if he has protection up, then he gains these amount of buffs.
hmm
That'd be nice. You want to
Um,
go on the Relius's second question, then we can get to
yeah.
Khalid.
Let's see here. With the Sidious Omicron, could he potentially make a good backline defensive team? Something like Maul leading him for some crit immunity stacked with the extra health. Then the other three less used Sith, maybe. So like Maul lead, Sidious, Savage, Sith Assassin, and Sith Marauder. I'm not gonna lie. That's not a bad team. Maybe switch out Sith Empire Trooper for the tank, or maybe not. You could just have them all, just all team be under stealth. Because Savage will cleanse them. That's actually not a bad team. Because Maul actually, I was looking at it. Whenever he deals damage, he's going to be constantly boosting his max health. Um, on top of Sidious's unique for with his Omicron. and also whenever they evade, especially like if you run this against a Jedi team, you gain turn meter when you evade. That's not a bad team. I think Maul lead with Sidious is pretty good. I I could be convinced of that. That's not bad.
I like it.
Rel Relius, if you would be so kind to Omicron Sidious and tell us how that works, I would love to see it.
I agree.
Um,
Uh,
I want to run over Conja Club's questions real quick.
yeah,
Um, Conja Club, basically, Mara. It looks like it's just going to be exclusively with the Emperor and with EP and the Empire, and Starkiller is going to be with Unaligned Force users and some mixed stuff. Looks like there's not going to be too much Lord Vader crossover. They are technically able to, but I don't think it's recommended or it's going to be good that they play together.
yeah. We're gonna go in the arts question. You want me to read that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Art goes. Seems like Omnicrons are CG's way of saying here's some viability for some teams that everyone has geared up, or for some characters that people went for GLs. Omnicron seem pretty exclusive though. Most people have just one. Do you think it's worth throwing them on Chirpa, Qui-Gon Jinn, Rolo, or should people be saving them up for potentially bigger boost or bigger characters in the future? Or do you think this is CG's way of making sub-bar teams relatively viable? So it's kind of like two questions here. And so for the first one, just like should we be saving them? Honestly, I think there's not a lot of them at the moment. I think if you think about the total, especially with the new ones that have come out, um, I think all of the marquees got one Omnicron. Um, the new Boba got one Omnicron, so that's five there.
Actually,
Did
he's got
Starkiller get?
Boba's got
He's
three.
got two. Boba's
He's
got
got three.
three. Oh
He's
man,
got three, and I think
um,
Starkiller's got two.
two. Yeah, so that's five. That's nine right there, and just new content. And then the old characters, they've only released eight so far,
I think we got 10 total. Or
but 10 total. So 19 Omnicrons. There's currently 19 Omnicrons in the game. That's, I hate math, but I'll do how many that is total.
so you
That
said that's 19. That's gonna be you're gonna need
380.
380. Yeah. Um, my opinion here on what you should do with Omicrons. Um, I think you should, if you have that team or faction built up, go ahead and place it on them because this is their way of trying to boost the viability of that faction. So you're getting Dash Rendar. He is making smugglers good. So all of a sudden that's a Grand Arena team to where you're no longer having to use, they're taking out Darth Revans, they're taking out General Grievous teams. You're no longer having to waste a Jedi Knight Luke or a Jedi Knight Revan or a Padme or anything like that. You're able to use Dash Rendar and smugglers. If you built up Ewoks, throw that on Chirpa. I've seen Chirpa take out, Chirpa Ewoks take out some really good teams. Like, if you can beat a First Order team, a Crew First Order, a Hux First Order, you can beat it. Bounty Hunters, you can beat. Um, if you're beating, what's another kind of like B plus Grand Arena team? Um, like if you're just beating a good team with Ewoks, like it's making your investment more worth it. Qui-Gon Jinn. I think Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron is good. I'm not as crazy about it as other people's are, but like again, if you went for JMK and you have all these Galactic Republic Jedi or you have Cam, go ahead and slap it on Qui-Gon because you're making a good team out of a leader that's, not really doing anything. Rolo, if you went for JML, you've got Rolo at Relic 3. Slap the Omicron, slap the Zeta on her. All of a sudden, you got a 4 out of 4 team in Lightside GOTB, which, like, that makes going for this GO more worth it if you're getting an additional, 4 out of 4 team. Um, Again, some of these characters, it might be more worth it. I think as of right now, you can choose to hold on to it and put it on the best ones. It's the same thing as like when Zetas first came out. My personal opinion is put it on the one that best reflects your roster. I think we will come to a point that Omicrons will become easily more accessible, but as of right now, they're going to be rare. So just don't put it on a character that you're not going to use just because
Yeah,
it's technically the best one. Put it on one that you're going to use all the time. That's my opinion.
yeah. I would probably agree for the most part. I mean, at the moment, there's not a lot of them, and I mean, they're gonna have people chasing after these things for a while. So I think after this initial like big push of Omnicrons, I don't really see them like 2 months later bringing out 10 more.
Right.
I just realistically don't see that. I mean, I think for the most part, we're going to be. This is what we're going to have for a while, and I think new characters are going to get them. It's going to be kind of one of those kind of things where newer characters will get them. But for the most part, I would just hoard them up, save them for what you want. But I do like them how it makes a team better for like a situation. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I like it.
Do we want to talk about Cam?
Uh, yeah, we've gone on for almost an hour, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're coming on an hour.
Yeah, I guess we can do it next time. I didn't think we would talk about Starkiller and them that much. So,
Um.
uh,
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm really excited for Starkiller next week. For those of you who don't know,
mm,
it is December 15th. His event will be live, so that's next week. Um,
mm,
I don't think anyone in the guild has wailed on any of the characters yet, so we'll have to
nah.
rely on all the krakens and whales in the community. But
I don't even think any of them have come to a node yet.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna make them all farmable next week, and they'll put them in. They'll make them farmable. They'll put them. It's the same thing like they did for Queel and IG-11. They made them
Yeah.
farmable, and they'll just be like, all right, like go crazy with it, and
Mm,
um, that'll be the plan.
yeah.
So I mean, we did this last week. Nothing's really changed with what you're farming, right? Like you're
Nah,
still
nothing.
um, yeah, I'm still farming Executor. Nothing's really changed. You're almost at alts with JMK on your junior account, right?
I think I'm at 4,
Okay,
but I have enough to farm one more, so I'll be at 5.
solid.
So, but that's moving slow. I'm not really spending a whole lot of refreshes on that.
Well,
Really save for Cam. So, yeah, I don't
that's
have anything else. I mean, we'll have to get to Cam some other time. But I honestly didn't think we would talk this long about 4 new things. So,
yeah. Well,
but
Starkiller's gonna be dope. Um, Make sure to do your
mm-hmm.
GB battles. Do conquest, and
Yep.
yeah. Let's keep killing it, my fellow barbarians.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one.